Welcome back to more Let's Play Dragon Warrior Monsters. Last time, we hatched both of our Metal King slimes, trained them up, bred them together, and received our latest party member, Soul. He is a lovely companion who has outright immunity to many spells, a bunch of resistances to everything else, excellent stats and pretty much everything but HP, and he'll learn some very, very good moves in the future. Otherwise, we took on the arena after training Soul up a bit and getting him to be hot-blooded along with everyone else. And by doing so, successfully beating Class A in the arena, we have opened up 2 new gates. Now, before we go into those gates, we need to A, do some prep, and B, go check on the monster stable, because there's a very obtuse hint here that, to be honest, when I was a child, I had no clue about. Also, you should probably check on this guy. It's been a while. Mostly garbage, but sometimes I catch good stuff. Anything good? Filled with garbage. Yeah, about what I expected. And you?
Hello, the stable's below here. The Monster Minister is here at the stable. The Monster Minister knows where each monster lives. Bleep.
Huh. Useful. So let's talk around.
I wonder what will happen if I use Chance.
Because we haven't been here in a fair bit, and now is the ideal time to come back. Yeah, okay. Thanks, Waterball. You have a good one. Have you met the Dark Horde deep inside the mysterious cave? This dragon used to know how to fight the Dark Horde, which is the exact thing we are here to learn about. If you remember, one of the gates was called the Gate of Labyrinth, and it is no joke. Unless you know the exact route to take, you'll not be able to fight the boss. And for the longest time, I never fought him, because I had no idea how to figure this out. Turns out the answer is in the stable.
The dragon is always sleeping, and he talks in his sleep. Maybe his gibberish has some meaning.
I feel the strong presence of a powerful monster deep in the library. Why don't you check it out?
Well, we did. That was Orochi. Thank you very much.
Go right immediately. Then you can beat the Dark Horde.
What? So yeah, despite what that little fella says, that is not the info you're wanting. Hello, Gigantus.
I'm the king of the world.
Yeah, okay. Well, it goes to show that low intelligence runs in the family. Still, here's the dragon. Go up 3 times. Left once. Go down twice. Then left. Remember my words when you're lost. So yeah, this is the hint in order to figure out the labyrinth. So, one more time. Up 3 times. And if I'm smart, I'm actually going to write this. So, up 3 times. Left 1 time. Down twice. Then left. Very good. So now that we have that written down, that is the big thing I really wanted to show up here and why I made special mention of it last time. Because with that hint, we will be able to solve the Labyrinth Gate. Again, without that knowledge, while theoretically you could figure it out, it's very unlikely given the repeating structure. Still, you never know. It's very possible. Otherwise, I did say we do want to stock up on items, so I should do that before I just mindlessly wander on down. So let's head on to the market. Because A, we don't need herbs, B, we don't need love waters, C, we don't have any sirloins whatsoever. whatsoever. And he has D, too. On the way back up, we should check the arena and see what monsters we'll be going against in the new Mystic Worlds. There we go. I think the rest looks A-okay to me. Now, while here, I do want to pick up at least 4 sirloins, if not more, which we should have plenty of room for. Otherwise, I think the rest of our items actually look just fine. I could get rid of some warp staves, and I might, to be completely honest. But, you know what? Buy 6 sirloin. Go for it. I think that'll be fine. That way we will have at least 2 of them. Try to recruit some more monsters. And, spoilers, the boss of Labyrinth, he's one of the final monsters that can actually be recruited. So you want to make sure to bring meat, especially on this one. It's kind of a trend that most of the later boss monsters are really, really good for breeding. The King Slime, the Servant, and now this one all make some very, very good monsters. This is another one you really don't want to miss. Gigantes is probably one of the only ones that I really could have gone without just because of how annoying it was, but still, he ended up being useful. Otherwise, I'm considering buying a Sage Stone, just because in a pinch, it is useful. I'm gonna not do it. I considered it, but I think we'll be just fine. In fact, I think I'll just buy another sirloin instead, just in case. Because you never know what you're gonna find. Otherwise, that guy is still walled off from the world. Serves him right for not selling anything. So effectively, he's just the same as he's always been. I think I do want to leave behind some of our money, just because we really don't need to be walking around with all of this. There, we'll keep 2,000 on us. Should be more than enough. Now let's make our way to the arena and see what all we'll be dealing with. Because, as I mentioned, these 2 gates are more on par with the library gate, and that was fairly tough. I don't remember these 2 being as bad, or namely the Labyrinth one being as bad, but still, it's good to have knowledge.
Gate of Labyrinth.
Want to learn about it? Absolutely.
There are rock slimes, amalgams, cactiballs, tail eaters, ducktites, ag devils, and the wind merges living there. Tail eaters use poisoning, ducktites use curse.
Caddy balls, not cactiballs, caddy balls, use paralyze. Bundle spelling error there.
The guardian there is a dark horde.
It blocks spells with stop spell, and he sure does. So, Darkhorn, spoilers, is one of the final boss monsters we can recruit, which is why we need a whole bunch of sirloin. Now, because he has stop spell, that's one of the biggest reasons I absolutely wanted to learn Hustle, because it is not a spell and it can heal everybody. That's why, although I have a fair bit of redundancy here with Hustle and Heal Us doing pretty much the same thing, Hustle being a dance rather than magic is definitely useful in situations like this. It's the same reason that I like having Sleep All and Sleep Air on Rose. One is a breath ability, one is magic. It really helps having variety. And that's why, although, some things are better than others in most scenarios, the other things that are similar can still have a lot of purpose. For instance, poison gas, poisoning all enemies, versus, say, whatever the other poison ones are called. I never remember. Still, you get the idea. Otherwise, what's in the other gate?
Want to know about the monsters behind the Gate of Judgment?
Absolutely.
There are weed bugs, hammermen, mad geeks, tree boys.
are spot pigs,
Trolls, lizard flies, and giant moths living there. Beware of evil slashing of the hammermen.
goodness, sometimes reading these is a little tricky, especially when the the Gradian there, not Guardian, Gradian,
Is a Octobar. It uses focus and explode it.
yeah. As you can see, although I love this game, it has its fair share of errors, and that's why sometimes reading things like this can be a little tricky. Because although, yes, I know she means to say the Guardian and, things like that,
They don't always come through.
otherwise, things right here. Hey, Queenie, got any new requests?
I'm satisfied, Terry. Win a victory.
So nope, still nothing. Though we do have plenty of monsters to continue to show her once she does request them.
Because you trusted me, I'll give you some advice. Medley is a precious monster. Go down from the Traveler's Gate at the bottom of the well, and you'll find one.
We certainly did. Well, good to see you don't have any new dialogue. We've not been missing much. It really did pay dividends to go out of our way so early on and complete all those Queen's requests, because once we actually get to needing to do more of them, we're pretty much going to have, I think, every single monster she wants, and we'll pretty much be able to just knock them out the minute she asks, which is going to be super useful. I think there's only one monster that we haven't made that is on her future list. And even though we haven't made it, I have, I think, most of the monsters required to make it. So that's useful. Otherwise, I think, was it this opened up? No. It was the other one. Right in here. Hey there, fella. How's it going?
You're at the room of the Labyrinth, of Labyrinth Judgment. Go right to the Gate of Judgment, left to the Gate of the Labyrinth.
So yeah, we'll be going to Labyrinth. I tell you, all those spelling mistakes sure does make it hard to trust in the words they're actually putting on screen. Because here I am, second-guessing myself. So, weirdly, we'll get to actually see me go through a dungeon this time. We won't be grinding for once. It is sometimes few and far between. Let's see what we're working with here. 23 floors total, 22 of which are random. Nothing we've not dealt with before. In fact, we've dealt with worse before. So this should be a cinch. Take a look at our map. Nothing too crazy. Should be nice and easy. Now, otherwise, for proceeding, I think I kind of just want everyone on charge. I'll keep Rose on mixed, just so that way if something does survive, she'll be able to status it down. But dealing damage and getting rid of these guys quickly is ideal. Now, unfortunately, because I don't have any way to cure poison, this is going to be a bit of a slog. And the same is true with Curse, unfortunately. That's why an all-out offensive is kinda going to be my go-to plan here. It may not work very well, but we can hope. And here comes poison gas. Luckily, most of our monsters are fairly resistant to statuses at this point, but there is still a definite chance they can still get poisoned. So, it is worth keeping in mind. Though, usually, there are typically plenty of priests and priest floors that it's usually not the end of the world. And even if we don't get one of those, we get a shop floor, we can just buy some antidotes. So, I never worry about it too much, but not having the antidote spell and not carrying antidotes can certainly be taxing. So we will see if I come to regret my decisions. And there's a very good chance I will. Money. Got a spot on the, right, an eye on the mystical. Hello, Cackleball and Gizmo. No, otherwise, there's nothing, terribly remarkable. I think I've already mentioned Gizmo leading into Phoenix in a weird way. I don't remember if it's directly into it, but I believe it's Gizmo and Bird make Phoenix. Then Cactoball, I don't think it does much. At least based on my memory. I don't think I've ever used one because they're so mundane. And to be honest, they're just not my type of monster. So, I don't use them. Ooh, free meat. Anything good? Pork chop. We are well beyond ever using pork chops again. Sorry to say. I would love water, frankly. But still, good if you didn't have anything, I suppose. But I mean, seriously, the minute you unlock the ability to buy sirloin, you seriously should just never use any of the other meats. There's no point. Though, I guess, to be fair, if you don't have the money for sirloins because you've been unlucky, have spent your money on, say, world dues or sage stones or other staves for combat or a bunch of, I don't know, beast tails for some reason, even though you only ever really need one. Look, I'm not you and you're not me. Your playing would probably be different than mine. I'm not going to judge it. But, in the weird event that that's the case, well, you may not have the money for sirloin. In which case, I'd recommend you explore a bit more. Also, hello, rock slimes. I don't know if these rock slimes are level enough to have rock toss. If they do, that's very dangerous. If they're not, then I'm not worried. I mean, so far so good. They don't really seem to be using it, so I'll take that as a fair sign of not having to worry too much. They seem to be focusing on defense, which is fine by me. I will never complain about not getting beat up. Trust me. Mystic Hole is spotted. Thank goodness we have Step Guard, otherwise these ice tiles would be dealing a ton of damage. I am more than okay not having to deal with that while we explore our lovely little dungeon. Pretty good damage with that. Soul still isn't quite leveled up. Oh, there it is. Okay, they do have Rock Moss. Luckily, we have a fair bit of resistance, so it won't be able to one-shot us, as if we didn't, because otherwise that would be around 200 damage if they both used it, so thank goodness. Go. Done and dusted. Very nice. And I figure once we get low, I'll just have Toto heal us outside of battle. Worst case, if it's an absolute emergency, I can always use our World Doom. I am more than happy to use that. Would I like to save it for boss? Well, sure. Did I save it for a boss? Hey, that's yet to be seen. But I mean, so far so good. Not worrying too much about our resources. Rib, slightly better. Alright, now's where I'm going to use Map Magic. And I guess Step Guard because I did not press the button enough. Silly me. Oh wow. Okay. On the long and narrow of things. Fine by me. See that mystic hole by going a little south. Fight more rock slimes. A-okay with me. I will say, I'm always happy to fight enemies that I know we can fight competently and getting surprised and just trash. That was one of the scary things about the library, is that I knew the enemies in there were difficult, and I wasn't terribly sure that we could take them on. We ultimately did, but boy was it rough. Now it's our favorite new grinding spot, so hey, all's well that ends well. I think after this fight we'll have Toto toss a heal all Rose's way. Or, I think Rose even has healing, doesn't she? Yes. I did not mean to hit Soul. There we go. Figure she can heal herself with all that delectable MP she has. We got lucky and guessed right, so down we go. 6 of 22, making good progress. Take a look here. I think the Mystic Hole is down, but we will see. Yeah, I think that's what that is. It is, perfect. And we have a priest. Hey there, pal. Got anything cool? I mean, kinda. The Lava Men is, cool to see. But frankly, we don't really need them. It might be nice to get another gold golem eventually. But as of right now, I'm not terribly concerned with that, so I'm not gonna worry about it. Take our lovely free heal. Nice and refresh. And then continue on our merry way. Kinda surprised we haven't seen a special floor yet. But, well, it's just how it goes. Toto, if you would be a deer, show us map magic. Oh, small floor. Alright. I am never against a small floor. Right, crossroads. Toto, you know what to do. Huh. All that dungeon. You put the Mystic Hole right here. I mean, hey, fair enough. See, this is why I also don't mind not having a Beast Tail, is because once you unlock Map Magic, or well, just have it, you really never need the Beast Tail. 2 MP is trivial, and I mean, sure, you're losing 1 of 8 spell slots for Map Magic, but you have 2 other monsters that both can know a plethora of skills. So, I would always much rather have Map Magic than just, you know, having one of our 20 precious inventory slots taken up. Now, sure, you could use quite a few different items and make room, but I just always felt it was better to have the free space than it was to bring the Beast Tail. Again, early on, super useful. I would absolutely recommend it. But the minute you get Map Magic, I think it's fairly obsolete. Especially the later on into the game you go. 2 MP just becomes paltry, especially when compared to a lot of the later spells that require, you know, like 20, 30, 40 MP, because some of them do get very expensive. Generally, those are like the very, very end game spells, but, you know, it adds up, to be fair. But with walking around, I find that normally you recover the 2 MP, so it's not a big deal. But I guess to be fair, it's still not a terrible idea to carry a Beast Tail around. Because say if your Map Magic monster gets knocked out, you don't have a healing spell or a World Leaf, that could be a problem. So, I understand why you might still carry one, even if you do have Map Magic. But I feel safe without it. But generally speaking, I try to come prepared. So, I would feel safe. 1 step guard. And our Map Magic. Again, all this dungeon to explore. Mystical, a screen or 2 away. It is a little silly how often that happens, isn't it? Again, not complaining. Just pointing out how goofy it is. Just like the Gradian, or however I guess you would pronounce that. Oh, I love finding little spelling errors like that in games. It's cute. Because although it is ultimately an error, it shows that, you know, even professional game developers still make errors. it's human. And it's one of the things that just is charming, you know? Because you're like, oh, look at that, you know? Anyone could have done the same mistake, whether it be due to crunch, due to just being quick, or maybe you just forgot to reread something. Error is human. Beautiful. Love being confused. To be fair, I don't know if I'm going to have Rose keep confused, just because it's kinda negligible later on. But I do like having sleep. If anything, I'll probably get rid of one of the sleep spells before I consider getting rid of confuse, just because they are both useful, but doubling up might be a little goofy. Again, like I said, it's nice to have redundancy with two different flavors that function slightly differently. But in the event of I want to have the effect that I need room for something really good, it's probably best to ditch the copy of the spell, or ability, or skill. And for more, very nice. Good old zap, dealing some pretty good damage. Sleep all, keeping us nice and safe. You'll love to see it. Ultimately, I'm not terribly sure what move I'm going to keep on Soul for, like, his main damage. But I'm not against keeping what he has right now. Seems to be doing pretty well. Okay. Do I need Step Guard? Take a look here. Yeah, I'm probably going to need Step Guard. Alright, you got me. I could also just use some of our Warp Stabs, because I never use them. Namely, because I keep in mind that if there's a really big, annoying floor, I would like to be able to just whisk myself away and get out of it right away. But sometimes it's also nice to just get the XP and fight things. I know it may not be the most interesting thing to watch sometimes, but this is the game. It's also one of the things I enjoy about this game, is that you can kind of just mash A and win most fights once you've gotten a team set up correctly. Now, obviously, when you're working on new monsters and, you know, doing a bunch of breeding and learning different skills, you do have to pay attention a fair bit. Just because you need to keep on working on the personality, you need to make sure they're learning the correct skills. It's nice to see the stat gains. Wow, that whole turn was literally nothing. Kinda funny. But I mean, later on, there's just not much to have to pay attention to. Which is, I think, both a negative and a positive. Because it makes this game very easy to play. Ooh, a Mystic Nut. I actually do want that. Well, here's a goofy dilemma. I guess I could use an elf water on someone. Maybe Toto? Sure. Sure, it's probably technically a waste, but whatever. Now, to be honest, I think I want Rose having that. Just because Soul is going to gain levels, and once he catches up to her, that MP is going to be... I think Soul's going to have more, to be completely honest. Not that Rose has bad MP, just... I think Soul will have more eventually. Oh, an ambush? Oh, unlucky. The odd dance? Oh, don't steal my MP, I need that. Decent damage across the board. Toto just attacking rather than casting Zap. Very interesting. That's another thing I do love about this game too, is just seeing how the monsters actually battle. Because although you can command them and destroy their personality, I always thought it was so fun and interesting just seeing how your monsters go about handling the fight. Although it is probably just a more linear script in terms of coding that tells them, oh, if this do that, then, you know, I'm sure you could take away all the magic of it and it might just be like a 1 in 8 chance based on what they're set to, and, you know, basically flicking gates and setting different flags, which, I mean, to be fair, is true of every game ever, pretty much. But it's fun to think that, your monsters are thinking for themselves and doing things all of their own. It's definitely one of those things that I always thought about when I was a kid. Kind of the same with, like, I guess even Pokemon, in a way. Also, hey, got our elf water back. Very nice. Um, where it's like, you're a kid on a journey, and these are your companions, and you're loving and caring for them and training them up and going on this grand adventure. I always looked at this game in much the same way, but just with the twist that you're Terry, and you don't control your monsters. They are their own creatures. That although you've taught them how to do things, because, you're changing their personalities and helping them learn skills, they are the ones ultimately who decide what they should do in a given situation. So, I always thought that was super interesting. Speaking of, I do not need a plan. Very good. Thank you, Fire Air. There's the Zap that we know and love. Getting a lot of use out of Panic Dance, to be honest, which is nice. Missing Soul, excellent. Another reason I love the Gold Slime and Metal Slime family is that 9 out of 10, even if an enemy does hit, they deal 1 damage, and often they miss. So, it is super nice, because it makes them just so tanky. Like, even if Soul only had, like, say 10 HP later on, he would still be just as usable, which is ridiculous. To be fair, we've seen him take quite a few more damage than just 10, but you get the idea. All that defense does seriously make him into an incredible tank. It's one of the reasons I love getting a gold slime. I think I have used one of these things every single playthrough I've ever done in this game. Because A, I love how they look, and B, they are just darn good. Let's see here. Use our map magic. Keep on trucking. Because I would like to try to finish this world today, ideally. Might end up going a little long, but that is not a problem. Now, what is a problem, speaking on fighting all these monsters, gaining all this EXP, is that our team is made up of a bunch of very slow leveling monsters. So we're probably not going to see nearly as many levels as we used to, especially not like when we say use J forever ago, or Aqua, or, I mean, heck, even like Sliv, to be completely honest. The later monsters all just require so much EXP that it's, not exactly expected for you to get several levels all back to back like that. Gosh darn it, we're back in the situation where we can get another elf water, which, to be fair, you cannot buy. I think I'm just gonna toss one of the warp staffs. I should have just used it, but the mystic hole is literally right there, so we'll just say I used it. Got another elf water. Easy peasy. Which, let's see here. Toto, what are we looking at, friend? Not a terrible walk. Maybe on the last 3 or 4 floors, I'll use the warp staffs that we do have and speed things up. Just because I would like to fight the boss, as I mentioned earlier. Oh. Okay. Sure. Ask and you'll receive. Well, that's not very nice. You know what? Just use one. Call it good. Oh my. Yeah, I'm happy I used it. Let's see, 20 of 22. I could just use our remaining staffs and get out of here. Honestly, go for it. It's what I figured. Sometimes I like using the staff and then just not checking. Also, hello, Mr. Store. Have I got some money to make? Bolt staves, lava staves, snow staves. Oh yeah, sell them all. I honestly might pick up some antidotes, just in case. Laurel's your curse. So honestly, let's pick up some of those too. Just because I have a feeling I'm gonna get cursed for something, and I really, really don't want to deal with that during the boss. In fact, let's also use Heal Us. Everyone pretty much full HP. And then save the game. Should, yep, floor before the boss. Pretty much couldn't ask for a better place to save. Map magic, let's see what we're working with. A massive floor that frankly I do not even want to mess with. Use a final warp staff. Boom, we're good to go. Let's explore the labyrinth. So it's very straightforward. You have 8 different directions, but up is up, down is down, left is left, right is right. So, go up, up again, up for a 3rd time, then we'll go left once, then down 2 times, then we will go left 1 final time. And there you have it. As you can see, there are other things here to find. A chest that I don't think does anything, a Wadabo doll, and an empty room. I want to say if you get to those other ones, that's kind of just it. You get some flavor text, and that's all there is to it. Otherwise, you go back out of the room and take the gate home. One of those. Still, because we have made our way here, we get to fight the boss. Lucky us.
Bleat, bleat, I cannot believe that you made it here. I should recognize your effort, but this is a dead end for you.
Well, so you say, buddy. So you say. Lucky for you, we've brought plenty of treats because we know that you do want to reward us. It's just gonna take effectively $4 grand. Kind of funny. Now, ideally, getting things like fuse and sleep early on is excellent in this fight. And if he does happen to use Stop Spell, we have plenty of alternatives to deal with him. This is really one of the bigger fights that I wanted to really make sure we had alternatives for, because he can be tough if you're not careful. A lot of the bosses can. Still, he's confused, he's blinded, he's dancing. To be honest, I don't know what dance he has. If I looked into this, I would actually remember. So let me take a look real quick. Let's see here. I actually have no idea. Huh. Alright. Let's see, feed him another... I think... Well, we fed him 2, 3 sirloins? I don't remember. I'll just give him another one to be sure. Worst case, if I do mess it up, we do have our save. First normal. The end of the world. Is what we had. Yeah, I lost count. I'm not gonna lie. I got so busy trying to look up what moves he had, and I totally lost count. So, not the end of the world, but oh well. Feed him all that sirloin just to be sure. No effect that time, not the end of the world. Now, normally he likes to use sleep and Stop Spell a whole bunch, but he's not been doing that, which is interesting. To be fair, I think he just used Stop Spell and I just didn't notice because I was too busy. No, 'cause there's Bolt, and that's definitely a spell. Oh well. I suppose if we don't see his main gimmick, I wouldn't really mind. Use beautiful. Oh, it would have been nice if he hit himself, though. But frankly, I am a-okay getting lucky on fights like this. Kind of the same thing with like when we fought Orochi. Having certain abilities and spells really help trivialize fights. It's kind of like early on when we abused sleep. It was just so darn good, and I mean, it continues to be good. It's honestly probably straight up the best status in the game. To be fair, Curse and Poison are pretty good too. As we can also see, Confuse is also putting in quite a bit of work. Man, how much HP do you have, guy? I think it's about 2,000. Not that I've been counting, but still. Good to know. I mean, what, we've been turning out about, let's say, 100 damage per turn, give or take. So he shouldn't have too much more left, I would think. Finally gets a good hit in, 53, nothing to worry about. It is the one nice thing about this guy is that although he can do things like sleep and stop spell, he doesn't hit all that hard. Still, 7,000 EXP. Soul hits level 13. Gains no HP, 16 MP, 8 attack, 16 defense, 16 agility, 4 intelligence. Rose hits level 17. She gains 11 HP, 10 MP, 5 attack, 10 defense, 10 agility, 10 intelligence. And learns twin hits. Honestly, a pretty good skill. Because it doubles the damage inflicted to an enemy. Which is really nice. Honestly, let's get rid. I kind of like the idea of her having a bunch of air abilities. Just because it's, you know, she's a plant. So, like, snowstorm, sleep air, all the dances. Let's get rid of. Yeah, just sleep ball. Sure. Oh, and he didn't join us. Oh, gosh darn it. All right. I'm going to reset and be back once he does. Ugh, I tell ya, unlucky. There we go. Darkhorn got up and is looking at us. I actually got away with only using 3 sirloins, so very nice. Otherwise, his name by default is Dark. We shall leave it as so. And I guess let's take a look at his stats. He is a level 40 with a load of intelligence, decent defense, pretty good attack, alright HP and MP, and abysmal speed. He's smug, fair enough, and knows Sleep All, Stop Spell, and Psych Up. I guess Psych Up was the dance. So, fair enough. Good to know. But now that we have him, we will send him on back and head home ourselves.
Bleep, bleep. I never imagined such a strong master existed.
Yeah, fair enough.
You think the doll looks just like me? Terry, are you listening? Let's go back.
Sounds good to me, Wanabo. Luckily, that only took 1 extra try, so not too bad.
Oh, Terry, you beat Darkborn. You beat it without becoming lost in the labyrinth. You have great wisdom.
The king?
Terry, at ease. It's a good idea to talk to people. You're dismissed. Busy.
Well, I mean, I guess I do have good wisdom and foresight in talking to people, but, really it's the dragon we have the thanks for. Our, clean-cut victory and escape into the labyrinth. Man, what a good day. Got a bunch of info, stocked up on good items, fought our way through the labyrinth, cleared it, and recruited the boss monster, I'd say that wraps things up quite nicely with a neat little bow on top. I think next time we play Dragon Warrior Monsters, we'll check out the next gate, which I keep forgetting its name. It was what, Labyrinth and I think Judgment? I think it was Judgment. We'll check out Judgment. Don't judge me for forgetting. As always, I'm Brad. Thanks for watching, and have a good one.